baby. Hello. Welcome to Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets for the PlayStation 1. Oh, baby. So, welcome everybody. I am joined with Emma 2K.
Silly.
So, I mean, yeah, the run is really simple. It just consists on movement and some tricks that are not very fast. Not complicated, I mean. So yeah, timing starts, I guess, when I press continue. This is the first time I'm doing it with autosave, because the game is relatively unstable, so... I guess 3, 2, 1. Oh. Okay. No Harry Potter. Yes. Okay, the timing starts now. Okay. Thanks everybody for the good luck. The reason why I'm auto-saving is because the game is very unstable. It can crash at quite literally any minute. Like, it could crash right now. You'll never know.
Yeah, so for those of you who saw Whip's run a couple hours ago, with 100%, the game doesn't really crash as frequent. I mean, obviously you can crash in books and audio lock, but with any percent, it's a whole different...
Dobby won Harry.
Let me fix the audio and see if it works.
There is a plot, Harry Potter. A plot to make most terrible things happen.
Is it fixed?
Dobby disappeared, and shortly
it
after,
might be on my
Ron
end. My
Weasley and his
capture
brothers
card is
Fred
kind
and
of
George arrived in a flying
bad.
Ford Anglia to rescue Harry from his prison.
Okay,
Harry told them
perfect.
all about Dobby's warning.
Very fishy. I reckon old Dobby was sent to
Does it sound like vaporwave?
Can you think of
because
anyone at school with a
that's
grudge
another
against you?
issue.
Draco Malfoy.
Eventually, they landed at Ron's house, the Burrow.
I mean, I don't hear it, but
Touchdown!
that's just my end, I guess.
Ron's
Oh,
mother,
actually, it's
Molly
perfect
Weasley,
now.
marched across
We're in the
yard
money.
and came to a halt in front of them. She didn't look pleased.
All right, so
Bed's empty.
here we
Car gone. Out of
the
my
story
mind
pretty
with
much.
It seemed
Harry
to go on for
comes
hours,
back
and Mrs.
to
Weasley
his
had
house,
shouted herself hoarse
and
before she turned to Harry.
Very
I actually
pleased to
completely
see
forgot
you,
the story. I'm
Harry
not gonna
dear.
lie.
Ronald
Emma, if you know the story,
Weasley,
please.
I thought I
Yeah,
asked you to
so,
stop that fool from making such a
Ron,
racket.
Fred and
He's
George
still dropping
rescue
pets
Harry
over the attic
from the
floor.
Dursleys
It's
because they
driving
obviously were being
me
jerks to
mad.
him. Obviously
Come on,
keeping it
Harry,
PG-13,
let's
so we're
go.
not going to go full detail
And
with that
they
one.
did.
But in here you have Molly Weasley, obviously screaming her head off at Ron, and she doesn't get mad at him.
Perfect. Because Harry Potter never gets yelled at. Okay, so the first thing is mashing in the game. So every time you see the little square at the bottom right, it means that I mashed too slow. So if you don't see the square at the bottom right at all, it means my mashing was pretty much
Harry.
perfect.
Thanks, Harry. Come on, Harry.
So the first thing here is we're gonna actually flipendo these blocks. Because if we walk to the blocks,
That's it, Harry.
oh, we also look up to
Oh,
reduce
Dick,
lag.
watch me.
The reason why we flipendo the blocks right away is because if you walk to it, Ron will actually tell you how to use the X button.
Okay.
But we already know how to use the X button, so we're just gonna, you know, just walk around. And that is easily right there. Jumping from the box to the roof is the hardest jump in the game. I have lost countless runs to that jump.
It's
Not
a
great.
reset point for a lot of people.
Right. Use your direction. Right, Harry.
Here, no minigame. You have to get the gnome before he starts his cycle. He throws 3 pipes at random. If you're really good, you're able to get all 3, but I was only able to get 2. It's not super bad. I'd say it's about average. But because I haven't played the game in a while, I don't actually remember the pattern, so I'm kind of sight reading what's happening on the screen. I'm not exactly sure why the pipes are really being thrown, or where he got them from, or what they do even, but he's throwing them. And that's it.
Nice work.
Easy minigame, easy life, baby.
Now I need you boys to denome the garden for me. Go find Mr. Weasley. He's by the shed messing about with non-magical junk.
So yeah, there's gonna be some things in this run that we're not gonna really explain because they're pretty much the same in Whip's Hundo run a couple hours ago. But there's obviously different stuff that will obviously point
Right.
out. Like one that's coming up in, I want to say, what would you say, like 9 minutes?
Hey, what's up, Dirk? Thanks for the good luck, dude. So, pretty much, in Whip's Honda run, he does a lot of things that I don't do. And I'm also going to show off the newest trick, actually, in the
That leaves
entire
his
run
junk
that's coming
everywhere.
up in,
It
like,
drives Mum mad.
I don't know, I'd say 40,
Try
30 minutes or
smashing these
something.
barrels with a
Small trick here. If you can do padlock skips, which basically you're able to open the door while that little cutscene plays. It's such a small window, frame window,
Ginny's over by the puff
that
patch.
it's very, very
Why
hard
don't
to
you go and
get.
chat to her? She's been a bit shy lately.
I'm not exactly sure why it works, but sometimes, even if you mash the quickest, I have a turbo controller that basically matches at the speed of light, and I'm still able to miss it. So I believe it's a combination of mashing and also
Hello, Harry.
where Harry
Pleased
is
to
at the
meet
very
you.
moment.
Guide the puffs game. If you guide the puffs, whenever you get a wizard card,
So yeah,
So-
and
it
there's
is
also
there are 2
one
types
frame
of
window to
famous
get it.
witch.
Yeah, so here Whip usually asks the Puff Scheme to get beans or whatever, but I don't do that. I don't need to do that.
Harry, use your Wingardium Leviosa spell.
I'm just gonna
Charm
organize
and
Dad's
move the
junk for a
Holding
few
the X button
minutes here.
levitates- Could you
Seconds, I
char-
should say.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Just gotta break it real quick, you know?
That's right, Harry.
It's really bizarre
Wingardium Leviosa!
how... I'm not exactly sure why you do this. You get it to get the gloves, but I don't think that explains that
That's
there's
right.
gloves in the boxes.
Wingardium Leviosa!
Well,
There we go, baby. Now we have gloves, and we're going to... Honestly, I don't like this
up
part
and
of the
down,
run.
Harry.
It's denoming. So in 100%... Oh, go ahead.
And it's also the most boring part of the run.
Yeah, so in Whips 100%, you have to get all of the... You have to get, I think it's 400 points or something. I don't even know how many points you need.
Time to put this. Mum wants us to
card.
to fling a
Oh, 800. Okay.
And it's 1,000 if you do it perfect.
Oh,
Because
baby.
you prefer to do it perfect.
Well, one thing's for sure, I'm not gonna do that because it's slow. This is any percent, baby. So pretty much, Harry here is gonna spin around, and I'm not gonna mash at all. And he's just gonna spin around and just drop the gnome, pretty much. It's the quickest way to do it. I've tried my best to make it quicker by mashing as fast as possible and throwing the gnome to the hedges and stuff. It's not any quicker. So you kind of just have to mash once here and call it a day. You spin my head right round. That's correct. Oh, baby.
Don't worry.
Alright, this is the last gnome. And yeah.
Don't worry. Are you?
Well, that's it. We're done with the gnoming. Wow, that was so difficult. Oh my. I'm already sweating and everything. Okay, so as soon as we come back from this,
A wizard.
Fred and George here are gonna tell us to pretty much square up. So we're gonna duel them. Now, wizard duels work. You flipendo at the right spot at the right time, and you deplete their health. You have to do this. I don't remember how many times, but here there's 4 rounds, I believe. It's best of 3.
And don't okay?
Get ready.
So here we go.
Duel.
Young Potter's going to have to be on his guard.
There's a specific pattern to deplete their health really quickly. I don't know exactly how to do it, but trust me, it's possible.
You won the first round.
A little small trick here, and a small visual cue as well, is that if you see Fred's HP flashing yellow and black or whatever, that means that he's 1 hit away. So all you have to do is just press the X button once and he pretty much dies. But if you take too long, he actually regenerates health, but it doesn't regenerate as much health to where you need another fully charged flipendo. It just regenerates it enough
Good idea.
to where you cannot one-hit him with the quick flipendo. Bizarre. So right here, he tells us that there's these things called special magic. Whoa.
That's terrific.
And depending on what it is, like right here, right, you see that the TV on the right, it's kind of flashing a red color. And we want Fred to really hit the TV. You don't have to do it, it's not necessary, but it is really nice, because there's a chance that we get a power-up. And there you go. The power-ups are very different from each other. So there's the green one, there's the yellow one, and there's the blue one, and the red one. We want to get the red one. The red one shoots 3 flipendos at once. And if you're really close to Fred here, if you do it correctly and you're really close, he actually gets hit by all 3 at once. And the fight pretty much ends instantly. But I wasn't so lucky, unfortunately. So Whip here, he gets a lot of beans and stuff. I don't get any beans. I don't like beans. It's slow.
So yeah, the main reason that would grab double beans is because for you have to have 500 beans to unlock the out of bounds door, which 90% we don't need because we can just use a normal flipendo to spawn. So
angle. Okay, so the washing machine, it is very bizarre how this works, but for some reason, the washing machine can go either up towards you, or it can go back. If it goes towards you, oops, I'm gonna mute that. If it goes towards you, that's bad news, because you have to get the washing machine at a specific angle, so you don't have to Wingardium Leviosa it again. You have to get it at a 90-degree angle or something. It's really bizarre how that works, but yeah. I should turn up Emma in Discord. Give me a sec. Emma, can you speak? I increased your volume. Oh, baby. Let me know if that's better. right here, we actually want to take as much damage as possible because we're going to do a death abuse later. So we want to leave this place with at least 2 HP, just to be safe. You can be risky and just have 1 HP left. And that's a padlock skip. A really sketchy one at that, but yeah. So here we're gonna try our best to take as much HP as possible for the death abuse later.
Wingardium Leviosa!
And don't ask me why I have to do all these little tasks or anything like that, because I'm not exactly sure why I have to do it. Okay, so I'm at 2 HP away from dying, which is actually perfect. You flipendo this tree to come across the river. Pretty cool. And we're actually going into the best trick in the game and also the easiest. There is somehow a wrong warp in this game. And it's extremely easy to do. This will bring us to the Gryffindor common room.
Oh, hi, Harry.
Explain how it
Thank
works,
goodness
so.
you can.
It's really simple. So you basically hit the Puffskein, so you're looking away from the gate. You grab the Remember All. And you pretty much go through this door. You leave the door. You come back in. The game saves. Perfect. And we're in the Gryffindor common room.
We made it!
Now, I'm not exactly sure why it works, but I just know that that's how you do it. So if you know how to do it, why it does that, Emma, you can go ahead and explain.
So basically, the way wrong warping works, from what I personally understand, is it basically stores the first door which you open, which should actually be the library, but however, since the library is still locked, it saves the second door which you would open, which is the Gryffindor common room. So, and it also triggers a cutscene that's supposed to take you to Diagon Alley. So.
Easy. It is the easiest trick. Anybody can do it. When I actually found out about the wrong warp, it's what pushed me to running the game in the first place.
So basically, it skips the entire flu powder part, which is I want to say like a 45, like a 1.5 minute slide, which is a living pain, and then it also skips all of the flying part with the car trying not to get hit by the train, and then it also saves not having to do the Whomping Willow.
It also saves a book cutscene, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I believe it saves, I don't know, I want to say 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
So nowadays it saves anywhere from 15 to 20, but it was back in the day, it was thought it would save anywhere from 30 to 40 minutes, but that was before the world record was under 2 hours.
Ah, I didn't know that. What class is next? We're actually going to herbology. Right there I did a little dialogue skip. So basically, for some reason in this game, if you hold a direction, in some screens you actually come out of a trigger. So that trigger is kind of just lingering there forever until I activate it. And for some reason in Hogwarts, in order to get to class, you have to jump around and hope for the best. The quickest way to climb up a ledge is actually by jumping out of a ledge and grabbing like this. I'm not exactly sure how much time it saves, but it's quicker because you don't have to wait for Harry to completely stop, to hop, this and that. It's just better to jump for him, pretty much. I'm not collecting beans because I don't need them. I don't need any of the beans, thankfully. I don't have to worry about being underbeaned. I don't have to worry about being overbeaned. I just have to vibe around.
So coming up, the grade Egggdar wants to theoretically get is a C, but sometimes it's a B. But you want to try to get a C for this part. It saves like, I don't know,
I'm
20
Professor.
seconds.
Please be an A. Watch my complete E. Get ready.
So right here,
Perfect. Perfect. Keep
so the way this
trying.
works is we want to get the least amount of score as humanly possible, and that is 33%. The way you obtain 33% is by getting 4 perfects
Most
or
impressive.
8 goods when you do this,
Perfect. Perfect. Oh dear.
or a combination
Not
of
good.
both.
Keep
It's
trying.
mathematics.
Not good.
I'm really bad at math, so I'm just going to get 4 perfects and call it a day. You lose a few frames if you get more than 33%.
Okay.
Oh,
Perfect. Perfect. Keep
like right
trying.
there, I got
Oh
an
dear.
extra good,
Keep trying.
which is fine.
Not
It's
good.
37% that I'll get, so I probably lose like 2 frames or something. Not saving frames here, unfortunately.
Mr. Potter,
Something cool about this game that I don't see a lot of people doing is that when you go interact with doors, you actually want to go towards the little handle on the right side of the door, because that's where Harry's gonna go to open it. So if you are, let's say, on the left side of the door
Welcome to
and you
this
press
is a
square,
mandrake.
Harry will
Its
actually
cry
go
is
to the
very
right side of the
dangerous.
door and then
I
open
need
it.
you to collect at least
But if you
3
go
mandrakes from this
directly
greenhouse. Of
into the
course,
handle of the
more
door,
mandrakes you
he just
collect,
opens the
more
door.
house-
So that's a small time save that honestly probably doesn't even save that much time, but
Harry,
I think it's better.
What? Speak up, Hermione.
So basically, the reason we get a C is mostly just
mandrake's
because
been
I
attacked
don't
by those
actually
giant
think we can
slugs.
get a D, and if
Keep
we
it
can,
once as-
no, I don't
Good
think
luck.
anyone really knows what would happen.
I'm not exactly sure if you can even get a D, to be honest.
I mean, I've heard mixed things where the game can soft lock, or like it just never ends if you get anything but to be fair, spaghetti code, so.
Yeah, if something doesn't make sense, just blame it on the spaghetti code. That's it. So right here we want to kill these slugs. I mean, what's a nicer word? Okay, we want to incendiate these slugs. These brownish ones, they take two incendios, but these yellow ones take 4. They're chunkier, so it requires more magic power. You know what I mean? So right here, I am dangerously low in HP, so I'm trying my best to stay out of harm's way.
Wingardium Leviosa.
And after we're done with that, we're gonna collect the mandrakes. We only need 3, so we don't have to go through the rest of the herbology lesson to get more. The minimum amount is 3, and that's it. Okay, I'll boost her up a little bit more. Give me a second here. All right, I'm trying my best not to die here because it's really bad if I die. It's a huge time loss that I really don't want to take.
Wingardium Leviosa.
The thing is that Emma's actually at 200% on Discord, so I'm not exactly sure how I'm able to get her to be slightly louder. So I apologize.
Well done, Miss. 25.
And that's herbology. Perfect. Let me see. Can I gain? Oh, I can gain. Okay.
You can keep trying to beat the school record.
So here this guy's gonna tell me that I can better my herbology race thing, but I'm not gonna bother. Can I lower the game audio? Huh. Emma, can you speak now? I put a filter on.
Is that better?
Is it better? I put a filter that makes it so the gain is a bit higher, so the volume is also louder. It's good? Alright, perfect. It's most likely on my end because I have everything relatively low in terms of volume. So right here, we're pretty much going to Quidditch practice, and usually you would see Hedwig fly around and give me a letter that tells me to go to Quidditch practice, but because of the way the game works, you have to trigger that. But if you run over the trigger, it doesn't happen. So pretty much just walk free.
All right, Harry.
Yeah, it's no problem, Nick, so.
And we'll begin the training. Welcome to In a Quidditch match, which is why, first off, this broom won't steer left and right to fly.
So this is just relatively simple stuff. Just have to go through the poles. There's a chance that if you want to be really, really fast, you want to be as close to the poles as possible when you do a turn like this. Like, you have to turn really sharp. It probably saves frames, but if you're a little too close to the pole, you actually won't get the score for it. So you don't want to be super close to the point where you miss the poles, but you also don't want to be super far away to where you take a really wide turn.
Right, Harry. I've got two.
So right here, he's gonna show me two different brooms, and pretty much what that is if I want the controls inverted or not. There's no way you can really tell which one is and which one isn't.
Do you want to try them again?
I do not want to try them again. I want to do manual.
You've completed. Good session.
And then here he tells me, hey, do you want to keep practicing? And I'm gonna tell him, no, I'm too lazy to practice. It saves about 2 minutes.
Hey, Harry, I don't know.
So yeah, so if this was 100%, you would obviously go no, and it would continue onward. You would learn how to get the snitch, and
the reason why I took it relatively slow to select the options is because I do not want to go through the Quidditch match. And like I said, I haven't played in a little while, so I don't really want to lose time to that. So right here, we're actually gonna die to Ron, because losing to Ron perfectly is faster than beating him perfectly. But also, even if it was faster to just win, I wouldn't do it, because Ron is really, really quick and really annoying to fight. So, I'd rather just die. So, sorry.
so this is where Malfoy's gonna be bragging about getting on the Quidditch team.
Have you heard? I wonder who it could be. It's me, very latest model. Only at least no one.
He's gonna show off his brand new broom.
Ron. I don't feel so cool.
I don't feel so.
Follow.
3 jokes. Okay, so gross sounds ahead. The way Ron vomits or whatever, it's really gross. Like, I'm not exactly sure why this is a thing, but you have to pretty much follow him, and the sounds are very, like, what's that called? They're like very sharp and kind of close to real life, honestly. So a joke in the community is that basically Though the entire budget went to making the sound as gross as possible. So right there I took a safety frog a bit earlier than this because I want to be at 2 HP for the rest of this. There's a slight chance that I either fall or I take damage from these bushes, I guess. And well, if I'm at 1 HP and I touch a bush, I pretty much die and I have to redo the section over again. So it's pretty high risk, high reward, kinda. So you're just taking it safe, you know. Don't want to lose. I think it's 3 minutes if you die. So don't really want to do that. I apologize if you just ate lunch or breakfast. Right there, there's a small time save. If you go on the right side of that of the hill, there's actually no slippery things there, so you kind of just walk up the hill, saving some time. And that's the last bush. That's the last bush that you can take damage from. So I preemptively take the damage there, just so I don't have to take it later. It's the fastest way to get rid of your safety HP, in quotes. And if you think that was gross, this is even grosser. Now we have to catch the slugs. Do not ask me why.
Right, Harry, we move. Good luck.
But here it is. A perfect slug section like this. There's a slight chance that Ron stops vomiting the slugs. And we don't want him to stop, because that would be bad. Oops.
Well done.
That was actually a really good slug section. He didn't stop vomiting, which is perfect, actually.
So this is where a lot of people who do wrong warp actually think they soft lock. You don't soft lock. It's just two cutscenes interacting with one another.
Ron. Yeah. Gosh. Do we really have? Oh, Ron. Well, Ron. Oh.
So for some reason, when you do the wrong warp, a lot of cutscenes collide here.
Ron. Well.
So the text, the vocals just kind of loop together, and it takes a while, but now we're finally free. And the next class is actually going to be Defense Against the Dark Arts with Mr. Quirrell himself. One thing I like a lot about Harry Potter 2 PS1 is that you get these little panning shots of the castle when you enter when you enter a new area. They're relatively long, but I actually kind of like them a lot. It's very aesthetically pleasing, if I say so myself. Though they do get a little longer, but it's okay. So right here, I'm gonna do another one of these dialogue skips here. I'm gonna go here towards this thing, and I'm just gonna jump to Hermione. This skips the basilisk saying something to me, which loses time. So it's just a pretty cool trick. The PlayStation 1 speedruns, especially HP2, actually I think only HP2, it consists a lot on avoiding voice lines or things like that can lose time. We do not want to get hit by any of these knights, because I will die and I'll have to redo the whole section over again. So I'm gonna play it really safe so I don't have to do that. But yeah, I am just... Thankfully, after I'm done with the Defense Against the Dark Arts, I won't have to worry about my HP much, because the Death Warp actually happens after I finish, to help me finish the Defense Against the Dark Arts class. And we're pretty much almost there.
Come on, Harry!
And there we go. 124, that's not too bad. Oh wait, 45 seconds, I mean. Oops. So as you can see, I keep getting this trophy. I've tested, and so has Raging Redneck, which is another Harry Potter speedrunner, that maybe if we don't get the trophy, we save time. But sadly, it loses time if we don't get the trophy, because we have to wait for the timer to be at a specific spot in order to not get the trophy.
Hello, class.
So unfortunately, I have to get the trophy.
Very stylish.
And this is again another section where you have to get 4 perfects or 8 goods or a combination of both in order to get 33%. Yeah, so this movement, Harry Potter 2 saves a lot of time with movement. So I take the best. Well, I try to practice movement a lot because it is such a huge part of the speed run.
One more to go. Splendid.
There's things like taking really sharp angles to turn, moving the camera while moving the direction that you want to go as well also saves a few, like probably frames or something. But it's just, I want to get the movement as perfect as possible because it saves time, but it's also very satisfying knowing that you took the best path that you can pretty much take. Also, dear.
Looks like look, I'll take care. When a pixie's Petrivicus, you can only let Wingard steer the
So right here, I can actually die.
simple.
If
Isn't
I can die preemptively of doing the death warp, which is really bad. Okay, there he is. There's these imps that they can spawn either there or behind Hermione, and they're very quick, so they can actually charge towards you and you die, and that's really bad because your HP goes back to almost full. But pretty much this is the death warp. For some reason, if you die here, the game thinks that you're actually done with the entire Defense Against the Dark Arts class. And you don't really have to do it.
Well done.
So
Obviously,
there we go. We actually completely aced the exam or whatever.
Isn't he one?
Dear. I'm not exactly sure why the death warp here works. It's really bizarre because you don't really get anything done. You kind of just die.
Hello. Hello. Tomorrow it will
So
be...
here Nick is actually going to invite us to his death day party.
I've never heard of it. Sounds dead depressing to me.
Pretty much, Ghost, instead of celebrating their birthday, they actually celebrate the day when they died. And Nick so just happens to die today or tomorrow, I don't remember. Since when does Nick wear a cap? I have no clue. I have no idea. Fun fact, the fact that he has a cap is pretty bad because in Harry Potter 1 and Harry Potter 2, when you talk to Nick, there's a slight chance that he touches his hat as soon as you're done with text, and the game pretty much takes Nick touching his hat. It makes it a priority. So instead of you leaving the conversation, Nick touches his hat. Then 2 seconds later, the conversation ends. So you do not want him to touch his hat. So just putting that out there. It loses 2 seconds. It happens randomly. Not sure why that is. So right here, like I said, Harry Potter 2 consists a lot on skipping triggers and stuff. So right there, if you would have kept going forward, you would have talked to Nick. And we don't want to talk to Nick because that takes time. So this should be the only time I talk to Nick if I do all the trigger skips correctly. There's quite a lot of them. Some of them are actually like relatively difficult, to be honest. It's kind of interesting. Right here, there's a cool trick where if you jump up here and you go to the zone like this, you teleport immediately into the zone. It's pretty cool.
And you really do have that
not sure how much time it saves, but usually if you do it wrong, you actually walk to it like this. And that's it. Oh, I talked to Nick here. Uh-oh. There's a way that you can skip talking to Nick there, but I completely forgot that that was coming up. But what I didn't forget what was coming up is... this is the newest trick in the run. It is coming up right now. This is the first time that it'll be done in a RTA setting, okay? Well, in a run, that is. Because the world record still doesn't have this. Like, this is brand new stuff. So you guys will be the first ones to see it. I try my best to get it as fast as possible just to show off, but this is Egggdar Peterson, and I'm about to enter the choke zone with the storage room skip. So here it goes. Here goes nothing. Oh, I messed up. Okay. And we grab this ledge right here. It's very bizarre how that works. I'm not exactly quite sure why that works that way, but that's how it works. And that's it. That is storage skip, everybody.
Yeah, it's a really interesting how we found that trick. I don't know if you want to go into details, like, on how we found it.
Big shoutouts to Starlight Sims for showing me the setup. Before this, there was a really bad setup that I was not able to get at all. That entire storage room skip saves about 50 seconds in the whole run. So it's a huge time save, and I cannot thank Starlight Sims for finding that, because oh, it's beautiful. It's just so good.
I think Ron has a present for.
And I'm glad I got to show that off, because it's so cool. So now Peeves here is gonna try to bully me into not giving him a package or something. I don't know. But this is pretty much just an auto-scroller, pretty much. You just have to hit Peeves. Sometimes the hitbox for the item that he's holding is in front of Peeves, like that. So either I knock the thing out of his hand, or he doesn't take any damage at all. Really bizarre stuff. Also, something about that storage room skip, it's possible because you can actually pause buffer frame perfect, frame by frame, in this game. So for some reason, if you hold down the start button and you press continue, and you keep holding the start button, it advances one frame perfectly. Like, there's no way you can miss the first frame as long as you're holding the start button. So it's really cool how that works. And that's it. Peeves is pretty much done so here. And After he throws the package back to Ron, we get a very cool freeze frame here that reminds me of a 90s, what's that called? Comedy? Short. I don't know what they're called in English, but it's like a very 90s like
The voice was growing
end screen, I
faint,
guess. It's
and
pretty
Harry
cool.
was sure it was moving away, moving upwards. He began to run.
It's not that I am a boomer. It's more the fact that English is not my first language. So I don't really know what it's called.
Hanging by her tail from a torch bracket. She was as stiff as a board, her eyes wide.
I don't remember.
Foot-high words had been daubed on the wall above the petrified.
But okay, here we are. So the Chamber of Secrets has been opened, everybody. The secret of the entire game. They have murdered Filch's cat and wrote sassy things on the wall. And now everybody's trying to find out who the person who opened the Chamber of Secrets is. Harry and the rest of them think that it's actually Malfoy that opened the Chamber of Secrets because he's acting extremely smug. Like, he is absurdly smug about everything. So the team here is pretty much, you know, saying, oh, you know, it could be Malfoy. I mean, he's the rudest one out of all the Slytherins.
I'm sure that Draco... I think you might... Polly what?
Polyjuice to make the
Thanks, Taven. Okay. I'm glad my English is clean. I tried my very best to make it as clean as possible. You suspect Filch? I mean, I wouldn't put it past him. In the books, Filch is actually very sadistic. He's like, he supports beating of students. He supports like kidnapping students. It's really obscure stuff.
Silence. I suggest that.
Okay, I'll silence down Snape. Thanks.
Pay attention.
That's actually my favorite voice line. Is Snape saying silence here. I don't know why. It's just so bizarre. Oh. And here we have to do the buttons or whatever at the correct order, and that's how you do a potion. Perfect. Neville gives nightmares. They really did my boy Neville really wrong here.
Hello there.
Of course.
Oh, here's Hagrid. Oh, Hagrid.
I do. Like get. Oh yeah.
Leeches.
All
right.
Okay,
Good enough. Yeah, pretty much.
Let's see if you can fling them.
So Hagrid here wants us to do the same thing. He wants us to denome again to get a reward. Fun fact, you don't actually have to do anything here. You can just completely fail this and you still get the reward for it.
Don't worry, Harry.
I just love Hagrid. He's just in the corner, kind of just vibing pretty much. I love it.
Don't worry, Harry.
He's telling you to keep going, that's not too bad. He's a very supportive friend, you know. I support it.
Don't worry about it.
Is it weird that you read the second book before the first book? Honestly, I can't blame you. It's not bad at all. I've done that with other books as well. The good thing is that Harry Potter 1 and Harry Potter 2, they're very close in terms of like, you can read the second one and then read the first one. It's not a big deal. Because they're not very... They're pretty much... Oh, don't be rude about my score like that, Hagrid. That was rude. But yeah, not a lot of things happen in the first book and the second book to the point where like you have to read the first book. It is preferable, but you don't really have to. Because the stories are really just finding out what's wrong with this.
Thanks for saving me.
Okay, so what's next?
Did you manage?
Right, I have to do Quidditch now. So Quidditch is a nightmare in both Harry Potter 2 and Harry Potter 1. So basically, we have to knock Malfoy off his broom, and then in order to catch the snitch, we're gonna have to get all the rings that it throws out.
I can't. What's going on? All right, there's someone's. There's the Malfoys. There they go after the snitch. It's heading for the stands.
So I'm gonna try my best to do this as quickly as possible. But fun fact, if you actually do this section too quick, you can actually go ahead of the snitch, and you like do a minor soft lock. Which is really bizarre. Wow, he got bamboozled there. Poor Malfoy. That is the quickest I've ever done that. But yeah, like right here, if you go too fast, you actually go ahead of the snitch, so I slowed down here. Here's a fun trick. So, if you actually miss a ring here, it's preferable than actually getting all the rings. Because I'm not exactly sure why, but there's a pattern where if you miss exactly one ring and only one ring, the snitch will actually spawn underneath your hand. Oops, I actually want to grab that. Never mind. Oh, I think I grabbed it actually. But because I messed that up, I'm probably not gonna get it anymore. There we go. No, I didn't. Oh boy, this is bad. I have not practiced this. Okay, perfect.
Come on, look out!
So I messed up the little manipulation that I had going on, but pretty much if you only miss one ring, the snitch will immediately spawn underneath your hand when it's time to catch it. But because I took a long time to grab the ring that I pretty much missed by not accident, the cycle kept going and I just messed up, which is fine. So I get knocked out by a bludger here as soon as I catch the snitch, and my arm is broken.
That can sometimes happen. So, Harry, just toddle up to the hospital wing. Madame Pomfrey will be able to,
and pretty much
Dumbledore and McGonagall were backing into the room,
now
carrying what looked like a statue.
another student gets petrified and he comes into the classroom, not the classroom, the hospital wing.
Hermione whispered to Harry that it was about time he
and then, because we're so suspicious of Malfoy, we're actually going to get apologies potion together. And we're going to become Crabbe and Goyle.
Harry met Hagrid in Diagon Alley.
So we're gonna get the ingredients in Diagon Alley. Funnily enough. Yeah, the faces in the game are very, very, very derpy. I actually really love them. I really love the potato look of the PS1 graphics. I think they look really good to me.
Also, this cutscene has probably some of the best music you'll see in your
Yeah, this is my favorite. These are my favorite song also. It's just so good. Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
Harry,
it's just so nice and comfortable, and it's just cool.
Nice here. Oh, I am.
So here's Malfoy being snarky again about our dead mom, which is really rude if you really think about it. Like, this kid is pretty much just insulting your family that's dead. It's kind of messed up. It's not kind of messed up. It is messed up.
Help. I'll give you any.
So minigame here. We want to get 20 imps or something like that here. because they're being troublemakers. And it's pretty much just a reaction test. Sometimes the imps actually go really quick, and it's kind of weird. I don't know, because sometimes they go by so quick and they jump around really weird to the point where, like, even if you wanted to, it'd be really hard to get them hit, pretty much.
Thank you so
Oh, there we go. That was pretty quick. Alright, thanks for the leeches, guy. I appreciate it. It has a vomiting scene. Are you sure that it's even a kid's game? I mean, yeah, it's still a kid's game, okay? It's rated E for everyone. Right here in the cover, actually. And so is Harry Potter 1. So it is a kid's game. Or so it tries to be.
Welcome.
It doesn't look...
Is this bad? How can I help?
Can I have some...
I do in... They're hiding it. You need to collect...
Is that back there? Okay. So right here, there's this little mini game that's sort of annoying. So pretty much I have to catch these green flies, and they can be in any of these boxes. The first round, they can be in either the up or bottom, and depending on where you guess, and if you guess it right, you lose or save time. But the good thing about this is that every time they go, if they spawn up, they will go down, and if they spawn down, they go up. So it's a really easy cycle. You just have to get lucky and guess if they went downstairs or upstairs.
Well done.
Right there I went into first person because it reduces lag. Or at least it does in Harry Potter 1. I don't know if it does in Harry Potter 2. What's next here? Right. I had to open my live split because I'm actually not sure where I have to go next. So right here it says I have to beat up Malfoy now. So that's where we're going. We're gonna duel Malfoy for some reason.
Well done. Did you manage? Yes.
So here we're already doing the Polyjuice potion,
I'm afraid I hope you're not. Well,
which is pretty cool.
I've got a back. Come on, Ron.
Right here, depending on how fast you mash the text, you can actually get ahead of Ron here. But there we go. Okay, perfect. If you're slow at mashing text, there's a chance that Ron actually gets ahead of you. But if you're slightly too slow, there's a chance that Ron actually catches up with you.
Good luck.
And you go through the door, but so does Ron, and you kind of freeze in the door. And I don't know how to explain it, but it's really bizarre how that works. But like, you pretty much go through the door, but then Ron also goes through the door. You get frozen in place, you come out of the door, and then you have to go in again. It loses like, I don't know, 15 seconds. It's really annoying. I've only had it happen once ever, but after that once, never again. Like, I would rather just let Ron get ahead. Listen, I know I'm the world record holder, but you know, like, sometimes you forget. Sometimes you're just rusty, you know? So right there, I actually skipped talking to Ron again because we don't want to talk to anybody here. Harry Potter is very antisocial in this specific game. Not because he is not. Not because he is antisocial, but because we want him to be. We don't want him to talk to anybody. Every time you talk to somebody that you don't have to talk to, you lose time. And this is any percent, baby. We can't accept that. So right here, we're gonna follow Ron.
Harry,
And they're gonna tell us that we're gonna actually duel Malfoy here. Yes, this is the game with the Cupids. It's actually coming up right after. No, it's not. But yes, it is the one with the Cupids. The most bizarre temple run thing ever. Well, I have not heard the name Temple Run in a very long time. So right here, what happened, Emma?
Oh, nothing. I was saying the same.
Yeah.
Like the green.
It's been a long time. So right here, you want to kill Malfoy as fast as possible. Like I said, when his health flashes, you can just hit him once with a flipendo. You don't have to charge it, but make sure to do it quick because he can regen HP. Best of 3 here, not a big deal. That's actually pretty quick, nice.
Expelliarmus!
And right after this, Malfoy is tired of this. He doesn't want to lose, so he's gonna summon this giant snake for some reason. And right here, you can get a hit early. So something fun to know about this is that you don't actually have to wait for the snake to open its mouth. You can just hit it, and it's fine. There's a way that you can juke out the little venom things. So if you don't know how to do this correctly, this is actually very, very hard because the snake kind of reads your movement. So there's a way that you can manipulate it. So it reads your movement, but you know that it's going to be red, so you can evade it. Like right here. You go to one direction, and as soon as you see the green thing come towards you, you go the other way. It's really easy, and that's the snake fight. It's really simple. Again, you don't have to wait for the mouth to open. You kind of just hit it in the face and hope for the best.
Furiously, the snake slithered towards Justin.
Blimey.
Leave him alone, Harry shouted. At least that was what he thought.
Harry does sort of get the mute the protagonist thing. He speaks, but very, very rarely.
The snake was lying slumped on the floor, docile as a thick black garden.
Not exactly sure why that is, because the books are written in a first-person view, I believe.
You're a parcel mouth, Harry. Why didn't you tell us?
Harry didn't know what a parcel mouth was.
So here we actually find out that Harry can talk to snakes.
Hermione informed Harry,
you know,
that being able to
you guys may not know it, but throughout life, you will also find yourself talking parcel tongue, whether you know it or not. Because there are some snakes out there that can speak human. And they look human too. Watch your back, kings and queens.
Dumbledore wasn't in his office when Harry got there. It was a very interesting room, however, and nearby Harry spotted the sorting hat. As he approached it, the hat spoke to him.
Harry Potter's about to become a postal worker and deliver the snake back to hell where it came from. That's correct.
You would have done well in Slytherin.
Harry's heart
Let's see if we get the soft walk or not. Fingers crossed we don't.
A strange gagging noise.
That's deep. That's the point. What happened, Emma? Sorry.
Oh, I was, because I'm watching stream and all that. I said fingers crossed you didn't get
more beautiful than it was
the what? You cut
the
out.
soft walk in the book, you know?
Oh yeah.
I hope you didn't get that. The stream is like 10 seconds delayed on Chrome.
Still shocked by the sight of the bird bursting into flames.
Yeah, the game can crash at any minute, so be careful, boys.
Carry immensely heavy loads, and they make highly faithful pets.
Dumbledore went on to say that he didn't believe Harry was the attacker.
There's no snakes, Kelly, ladies.
That he wanted to tell him. Harry thought of the
as far as I know, you know, like I don't know if there are.
Connected to Salazar Slytherin, but in the end, he didn't want to say anything about them.
So I'm not exactly sure what the story continues on saying. I forget what this says here. Okay, so here's something fun. We're gonna drink this Polyjuice potion, and right here in this cutscene, if you actually hold upright, even though I become Goyle or Crab here, I don't remember exactly who. If you press up and right here, you can actually jump out of this cutscene like so, and you can walk around like Harry. Now, I'm not exactly sure if it works for the speedrun. I've tried everything.
It doesn't.
But it really doesn't do anything. So it's kind of just to like, just show it off. I've tried dying. I've tried like getting wizard cards. I've tried everything, but nothing really happens. A lot of things are pretty much blocked off. It's just kind of funny that you become Crab or Goyle and then you're suddenly Harry again. Okay, so the Slytherin common room. This is a pretty cool, well, not really cool, but it's a really bizarre auto-scroller. For some reason the floors are slippery, but not slippery like crazy like the slug minigame. I believe the reason why they made the floor kind of slippery is because it wants to give the impression that Harry's not really familiar with the body that he's controlling. So it's like this very mild slippery floorness to the that kind of gives the impression that, like I said, Harry doesn't know the body too well, so he's kind of just vibing around, sliding around. I don't think that it's actually slippery floors, because that would be very scary. But at the same time, if they were actually slippery floors, this would be a crazy dangerous health hazard. Because as you can see, I am walking on a hallway that's not any thicker than I am. And I'm pretty much running to it, through it. Also, fun fact, Crab or Goyle, whoever I'm controlling, they don't actually know how to jump. So if I actually accidentally go outside of the hole, I will actually fall to my death. So I don't want to do that, because it'll reset me back to the beginning. Right here we wait for this knight and then we go. There's a slight chance that if you're really quick or really slow, the knight doesn't actually get a hit in, which is pretty cool.
There you are. Have you two been pigging out in the Great Hall all the... How... People seem to... You must have... You know I haven't, Goyle. How many times do I have to tell you? But I know one thing. Last time the Chamber of Secrets was open...
Oh, baby. Okay, so right here, Malfoy tells us that he didn't actually open the Chamber of Secrets, but he is hoping for death, and he wants somebody to die. He tells us the story about the girl that died because she was a muggle blood or something. Dirty blood or whatever. I don't exactly sure his reasoning, but yeah. And now he's hoping for Hermione Granger's death. This minigame right here, it's on a timer, so you don't really have to hit Whiny Myrtle here. It's just kind of nice to not get your HP taken away when you can control it. But yeah, you pretty much can just not hit her at all and the game will continue on as usual. Yeah, like, Malfoy's upbringing is really messed up. His family values are very whack, if I say so myself. And Malfoy only really wants the approval of his father, so that's why I think that he takes his that's why he takes those values at heart, because he wants to make his dad proud. Right here, we're just gonna get the diary from Myrtle. and we become Harry again. So no more slippery floors, thankfully. Hello, Phil.
I'm glad we. I wonder where.
So right here, you're gonna skip getting that letter from Hedwig because you don't have to get it. You don't have to read it. Not exactly sure what it says. I actually haven't touched it ever. So
it's just a letter from Lockhart saying you missed my spell lesson. Come to my class. Go to my office for a private.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so the letter tells us that. That's cool. What happened, Emma?
Nothing. I was gonna say, which for storyline, the letter's kind of awkward. If you really think about it.
I mean, we don't want to think about that stuff.
Sure.
Probably get a headache or something. I'm actually underestimating how long the
Guess what, Harry?
the saves are gonna take. I'm probably gonna go overestimate because of the saving screens like this one. But if I play perfect, I should still be in line. So we're just gonna go talk to Lockhart here. He's gonna give me a private lesson. Oh baby, I wonder what he's gonna teach.
No need to worry. Watch Mike do this. Are you ready? Splendid! Very stylish. Just like me. Oh no.
Will we hear a dear dear? There it is, baby. Dear dear.
That's he. Very stylish. Just like me. Oh no.
Dear dear.
Oh baby. Okay, so Lockhart here is gonna teach us Verdimillious, which basically it makes it so things appear.
Perfection. Oh no.
But only specific things, and when you get the prompt to do it. It's very cool, actually. I really like this spell.
You've earned the pot. If you come back.
If I come back later, I can better my grade. You know, I really wish that that was a thing in school, where you can fail the class, or well, get a really low score, but you can retake it. So right here, you want to climb like so, because it saves time of going around, but that's pretty much it. In 100%, you actually want to go around to the knights to get the beans, but this is any percent. We're just gonna fly through this really quickly.
Excellent. Now run up.
Some exams, IRL, you can retake. Huh. I didn't know that, actually. Alright, here we go. Everybody's favorite area. The Love Day. After the House Cup, of course. Ooh, that is a nice emote. Dang. Alright, so
Hufflepuff.
right here is gonna be Love Day. It's really annoying, but you know, surprisingly enough, it's actually relatively difficult. I remember when I first watched a run of this game, I thought that it was the freest part of the game, but I quickly found out that it actually wasn't. It's very difficult. Well, it's not very difficult, but it's it's not as easy as you'd think.
Happy Valentine. How many I've arranged?
I actually really like Lockhart's cloak here. It's pretty cool.
Valentine.
love is hard. So right here, we're just gonna press down and just pretty much hope for the best. You do not want to fall. If you fall, you have to redo the section over again. It's not great, but it's okay. Also, this is gonna be very loud right here, so careful. It's especially bad if you wear headphones. So I apologize in advance for... Well, it already happened, but I apologize for that. You can blame the developers of the game for making that really loud. Okay, this is just an auto-scroller. Anything you want to say, Emma? Well, we, let's pretty much do this.
You can soft lock if you're not careful. If you push up on the right frame.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same thing like an HP1, just a lot more weird.
That's bizarre. I've actually I never knew that. I know there's a task strategy where if you get caught in the same frame that you continue on with the mission, you actually skip the whole thing altogether. So it's pretty cool. So right here, Harry's going to... what's this called? He's going to write in this diary. And he quickly actually finds out that the diary writes back to you. Really bizarre stuff.
I know all about the Chamber of
So
Secrets.
the diary pretty much tells him that, you know, I know about the Chamber of Secrets. I was alive 50 years ago, trust me.
Harry paused for a second.
So Harry trusts him. Trust the book, that is. And
the pages of the diary began to blow as though caught in a high
he
wind.
actually gets teleported into the diary, and the diary pretty much shows him visions of what happened 50 years ago. It's kind of like a time machine, but you can't really change time.
Was a boy of about 16. Harry knew at once
This could help during quarantine, something that writes you back.
Then Harry heard
Oh, I know that feeling all too well.
Come on, we gotta get you out of here. Come on now,
so right here we actually find out that Hagrid opened the Chamber of Secrets, and Tom Riddle was the person that caught him in the act of Hagrid saving the creature, the monster. It's like, whoa, my boy Hagrid opening the Chamber of Secrets? There's no way.
It wasn't
like,
him. He wouldn't. He never.
You know, Hagrid is always so cool. He's so nice. I wouldn't take him as a person that, you know, would do something like that.
A vast, low-slung, hairy
and there it
body,
is,
a gleam of
spider.
many eyes and a pair of razor-sharp
Not my
pincers.
Hagrid. Come
the
on.
thing scuttled away, tearing up the corridor and out of sight.
If you are arachnophobic, I apologize. I will say where.
Later, Harry met
what's
up
that
with Ron and
called?
Hermione.
What's up?
Harry could barely
Oh, here's Harry pretty much telling the team that Hagrid opened the Chamber of Secrets, but yeah, I will tell you guys when the spider section begins. Just so if you are arachnophobic, like extremely arachnophobic, you could look away or, you know, close your eyes or something.
Got the wrong person.
But right here is the sneaking section part of the game. We pretty much want to sneak past some professors and teachers and stuff. I mean, yeah, it's really simple. It's really hard to do it correctly, especially when you have to go past Filch and Snape. There's a very specific way to do it,
You can unlock the doors by using
and I
these
might
pressure
mess that
pads.
up.
You just need to charm it.
Oops.
Wingardium Leviosa. Nice one.
Yeah, a lot of things could have happened if Harry would have told Dumbledore. Dude, Dumpo Media is sorry to hear. I hope things get better, and I'm glad that the runs here were able to help you. So hugs and yeah. Thank you for the kind words. So right here we're just gonna sneak past Snape. Just, you know, just chilling pretty much. For some reason here, even though this looks like concrete, you're going to be pleasantly surprised to hear grass sounds coming from the concrete. I'm not sure why that is, but it's really bizarre.
Probably a wrong line of code added.
It's either that or they completely forgot to give that specific spot a different sound texture or something. Also, fun fact, right there, you can actually twirl the analog stick around slightly to jump to that ledge without grabbing it. So that's cool. So this is gonna look very scary, and I'm not gonna lie, it kind of is, but the way you can get caught in this game is really bizarre. Sometimes you can actually get seen by the professors, but they won't actually get you. Not quite sure why that is. So right here, McGonagall's gonna look that way, and you're gonna hug this wall, and she's not gonna see you for some reason. And that's it. And this is the harder section of the game here. You kind of want to stand in a specific spot, like right here-ish. You're gonna wait for the camera to kind of move slightly, and then you're gonna walk. You're gonna run here. For some reason, you can Wingardium Leviosa things even though there's a wall right in front of it. Not quite sure why that is, but it's just... I'm not even gonna question it, honestly. Oops. And right here, they both meet up, and once Snape turns around, like right here, I'm gonna be able to go like this and probably get caught. No, I won't. Nice. You don't have to get the invisibility cloak, but I wanted to play it safe. Here you wanna walk towards that hedge. That hedge, for some reason, if you really hug a hedge, a ledge or a wall or something like that, you don't get caught by the teachers, and it'll be very precedented here in this part. And I'm gonna count 14 ticks, and I'm gonna go for it pretty much. 3, 4. We count 14 ticks here, and that gives us enough time to where we can hug the wall there. Snape won't see us for some reason, and we sneak past them.
Yet again.
I know some people like to wait slightly longer than 14 ticks because they don't feel safe doing it, but as long as you hug the wall, you will not get caught. I don't know why, but it's just how it is. Alright, here's this. If you are arachnophobic, you can look away and whatnot, because this is where the spiders begin. So I apologize in advance. But pretty much we're just gonna walk, we're just gonna run through the Forbidden Forest without really doing anything. We're just gonna run. A lot of the Harry Potter runs are about running and doing it correctly. Oops. Right here you can Vertimillious this. If you do the Vertimillious but the things don't appear, you actually drop down. You drop down instead of jump, because Harry doesn't detect the thing that you can jump out of or something. So he kind of just drops. I'm not sure why. So right here is the spiders, really spooky stuff. These just need 2 to get to disappear. Some need 3. And later on, we're gonna find one that doesn't even take damage. But there's a way to beat it really quickly. Right here, we want to get rid of this slug because it'll get in our way later. And we're gonna vertimillious this thing here. Gonna jump up here for some reason. And there we go. That's pretty cool. Just gonna keep killing spiders, you know? I don't really like spiders either, so I'm glad I'm able to destroy them here. Oops. Yeah, no problem. I'm glad that the warning helped out a bit. So right here's the same thing as the Snape section. If you twirl around your analog stick, you can grab this. And it looks like you're gonna fall to your death, but you don't. So that's good. Or want to target lock. Oops. I completely overshot that. There's a way here that you can actually prevent Harry from climbing up like that, but I am not sure how to do it. Right there's another twirl, and right here, if you're at the correct spot, never mind, you're able to run. Right here, this is very confusing. I don't exactly know how this entire troll thing works, but if you stand during a rock there, you can delay the cycle. But I did it completely wrong, so now I have to wing this pretty much. What's happening? This is not how it's supposed to go. I just messed up the cycle, so I apologize. And then right here, you can actually sneak past trolls like this, and you won't get caught. I'm not completely sure again why that works that way. I don't know how I didn't get caught by that troll. Oh my god. I am God Gamer at this point. You can sneak past this troll as well. You kind of just have to wait a bit. And then, yep, there you go. Right here, you want to wait around this area. Sometimes the trolls have sniper vision and they can get you from, even though they can't really see you. Right here, there's a little thing that I can show off. So usually you have to flip into the rocks twice, but you can actually just clip through the rock. It doesn't save any time. It's just swag points pretty much. So here's Aragog, the biggest spider to ever live. Or well, the only one we see anyway. It's really it's really bad. He's huge. And
yeah, the fun graphics don't really do too good.
They don't do it too much justice. Emma, can you explain how I'm gonna destroy this spider while I do it? Because I kind of have to concentrate.
So yeah, so basically, you have, 4 sets of webs, and you can flip into the green, blue, yellow, or red side of the web, and you flip into it does damage, and so on and so forth.
There's a specific way that you can do it, so you can kill the spider pretty much quicker. We want to get all of the trees to 1 HP. because once you finish off all the trees, the spider pretty much falls to its death. So that's the green one, this is the blue one to 1 HP, and then the yellow one. So as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna flipendo one of them. I'm gonna flipendo this one, and I'm gonna do this one, and then I'm gonna kill the spider. And we're gonna go stand right here, and Aragog will actually destroy that tree, and it saves a bit of time. And it's less scary to do it that way, because each time you destroy a tree and all the spiders with it, more spiders will come, and it just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. So it's just better to just only have one spider alive, kill 3 trees, kill the spider, and then Aragog will destroy the other tree.
So yeah, and also, if you are wondering why does Harry go down the exact same path with Aragog when we can't?
Harry dived inside.
Hurry up, Ron!
The door slammed shut, and Ron didn't need to touch the accelerator because the car was already speeding away.
It's a pretty scary game.
Branches whipping the windows as the car
Definitely not sure why it's for kids.
I feel like because the movie is still PG, so I feel like they try to make the game like for kids.
They had reached the edge of the forest.
I believe it.
Harry and Ron arrived safely back in the Gryffindor common room.
Alright, so we're pretty much done with the spider section. So if you were one of those people that was arachnophobic, you can pretty much look now with complete safety. So yeah. The reason why I gave the warning is because a friend of mine,
Harry,
she's like very, very, very scared of spiders or arachnids in general.
Ginny will be alright once
like,
don't worry,
like she will actually start like heavy breathing and stuff, so I don't really want that to happen to anybody. So there you go. That's the explanation. So right here, we're actually going to go into the Chamber of Secrets. But before we do that, we have to go with adult supervision. And what other person perfect for the job than Lockhart himself?
I mean, I could think 3 others, but I guess the game devs didn't have the same mind and thought when they...
The reason, yeah, I believe the reason why Lockhart gets chosen is because he, in the books and the movies, he brags about knowing the secrets and how to destroy the beast. And he's also written many books about destroying creatures and stuff, so this is right up his alley.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote, yeah. For these whirlwinds, you actually have to take damage, at least for one of them, to reset the cycle. That's why I'm trying my best to not take health. Not take as much health, because it is extremely hard. I actually believe there's no more chocolate frogs from now on. And those are the quickest way to get health points back. The only way to get health points back now is by brewing potions. With loose is about like 20 seconds-ish. So yeah, you don't really want to take damage like that.
Oh, I didn't. How? No, I... Wait.
So now here we're talking to Myrtle. She tells us how she died, and pretty much she says that she saw into the eyes of something and she died. And
okay, I'll try.
she explains that there was this guy that talked to the to the faucet and the Chamber of Secrets was opened. And because we can speak snake, we're able to open it as well.
Well,
we'll be right back.
Oh dear.
And there we go. Now this is the slidey part section of the run. It's very scary. I've lost many runs to this slidey part. It's just very hard, honestly. You pretty much want to go as fast as possible, but if you go too fast, you actually kind of lose control of Harry. And by that I mean, like, he's too quick to control, so I don't really want that to happen here. For some reason, Ron disappears there. If you're fast enough, you actually don't even see neither of them. You won't get to see them at all because you're going too quick, but clearly I'm taking it safe. I don't want to redo this section. Right here, I'm going to take it even more slow. There's a way that you can just fly past this entire thing and land like about there, but I'm not risking it. Oh dear. Alright, now Lockhart goes into panic mode and into insanity.
Careful,
lost it.
See?
I shall go back.
So we have to stop him before it gets too late.
The famous Lockhart.
I'm sorry, boys, but it's for the best. This is the scariest duel by far. You see that those green sparkles that he shoots? Those are a one-shot kill. Like, if I get hit by that, I die immediately. I found out the hard way.
Yeah, so it's basically a Vada Kedavra, but without the killing curse.
Nick, so this run is like, if I wasn't saving, this would pretty much be world record pace, to be honest. I didn't mess up anything, but I'm saving for the safety of the marathon, so it's okay. I prefer the marathon to go on and get a world record, so it's okay. But yeah, this run is actually really good. I didn't take as much damage on Lockhart, so I'm not gonna take that potion right there. There's a slight chance that my entire HP gets depleted by the time I reach one of the next rooms for the trials. But yeah, don't want to do that. It's pretty good. Ooh, okay, no damage taken from these rats, so I don't have to take that potion. Here you want to evade the rat by doing that. If you go into that little cubby, Harry, the rat won't be able to chase you. Here's a skip, but I don't know if I'll be able to do it. Yep, there it is. You can skip this troll cutscene if you hug the wall really tightly. I am not exactly sure how you do it consistently. I have not gotten it in a run ever, so that should explain the, what's that called,
percent of the chance.
Yeah, the percent of the chance of like you getting it right. It's pretty easy. Other than that, like, it's pretty self-explanatory, the rest of the trials. I didn't take damage, so I'm not gonna get the potion over there. And I should still be able to live. Unless, like, I have... Oh, actually... as long as I don't die, as long as I don't take any damage from here on this room, I should be fine. Because I still have about 4 hit points left, so I should still be okay. Here's a small skip. It's really risky. Not risky, but it's difficult. You can very well use this, and then grab the ledge right there. Whoa, he almost wrecked me really bad. So here's a skip. If you don't take damage in this room, usually you'd have to kill this knight and the other one right here next to him. Oh, I guess not. Oh, I think I know why this works now. So if the knights don't swing at you, you only have to beat up one of the knights in order to press the button. I thought you had to take no damage, but I took no damage and it still didn't work. So I'm pretty sure it depends on animations of those specific knights. Okay, I should be. This is fine. I don't need the potion. As long as I leave this place with 1 HP, it's pretty much GG. And perfect, actually. Whoa. And that's it. That's the trials for the Chamber of Secrets. And now it's onto the main meal. And we're actually gonna beat up the garden snake that Salazar Slytherin was hiding in the basement. It's a pretty big garden snake.
Yeah, Nick, so as soon as we do the final hit on the snake, let's...
She's alive, but only just. Ginny's been writing in the diary for months.
Right here, pretty much this is Tom Riddle, and he explains to us that he was the one who opened the Chamber of Secrets 50 years ago, and that he has been taking control over Ginny to open it as well. And here's the garden snake. It's a big boy. And now the New York City pigeon is gonna come rescue us, and it's gonna take its eyes out. Because if you see a basilisk eye to eye, you get petrified. We don't want to do that. And the fight is really simple. You stay in this corner in order to not take damage from the green goo that the snake throws. And you want to go into his range of damage and leave it quickly. That way it opens its mouth. There you go. And that's the snake. And now the New York City pigeon is gonna drop us a sword. Harry's gonna be headless for a second. And now this part is very, very hard. So the snake is going to throw this beam of light, and we're gonna have to hit the basilisk fangs. And depending on how lucky I get, you can pretty much kill the snake very, very, very quick. But the way the beam works, I'm not exactly sure how it works, but you kind of get an idea. You just have to move the analog stick left or right, depending on where the beam goes. But like I said, it's very hard to control the beam. Another mistake that I've done during my attempts is that I actually let go of the X button while the snake is throwing the beam. It does a lot of damage, so don't do that. Just keep holding X until like you kill the snake pretty much. Perfect. Poor Jeannie, I'm kind of just like being in front of her, hoping for the best. This is a very long snake fight, I think. The beam can go... The beam is random how long it lasts. And it's also random how you can control it, so it's just random altogether. It's an awful fight. I hate doing it. The worst part about it is that sometimes you can get one thing off very early and you only have to concentrate on one, which is really hard. But oh, there it is. And this should be done in one more cycle, so time should be ready to be up. And that is time. Yay! That's pretty good. Thanks for the GG. And big thanks to Potterthon for letting me run this beautiful Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets here for everybody. And I'm glad I got to show the new skip that was found recently thanks to Starlight Sims. And yeah, Harry's dead for now. Emma, do you have anything to say here?
Not really. I mean, unless
any shoutouts?
Shaking all over, Harry
I can't think of any from the top of my head.
Was spinning as though he miles by
well, shoutouts to Potterthon.
Ginny drew a great shuddering gasp.
It was me, Harry, but
I don't know exactly what happens next. Nixel, do you have a... Oh, baby! The Nixel himself. Thank you. I tried my best.
I muted my mic so I wasn't to be heard on Potterthon. That's okay. Still, once again, thanks for the run. It was really fun, and I learned a lot for sure.
I'm glad you learned. Yes.
From like, I'm awful at this game. That's what I learned.
I mean, you're not that bad, Nix.
I mean,
you're not bad, Nix. So.
Thanks.
I mean, it's the emulator's fault.
Yeah, let's blame the emulator. I agree.
Shoutouts to Egg and any FF speedrunners. Yeah, shoutouts to the Final Fantasy speedrunners in the Harry Potter marathon.
I mean, why not? Shoutouts, are never bad. Anyways, we are gonna head into another transition, so we're gonna switch games real quick, and yeah, we'll be right back after a few minutes of a break, so don't go anywhere.